Hi guys, I'm back with another Mini Kit Monday layout process video. And actually this is going to be my last one for the month of March. My next video will be hopefully a layout share, or I have one more commitment to this month, which is the scrappy date with Megan and Daisy, and hopefully I'll have that out by Sunday, because that's when we're supposed to post it, is on the last day of the month. But this is for Mini Kit Monday. This was a simple page to make, and I was going to say, oh, it's super easy and fun. It was super fun to make, but what I really mean to say is that it was super easy for me to make. As soon as I laid down the left-hand side of the page, that piece is a scrap piece from a layout that I did years ago that I had to scrap and throw away because the rest of the sewing on that page was a total fail. So I managed to salvage that piece because I thought it was super cute. And so I didn't want to throw away all that hard work that I did on the sewing. I think it was like one of the first few times that I had sewn on a page. And I just didn't want to throw all that work away. I sweated a lot when I was using my machine, and it was my nice machine too. So I saved that piece, and I had this paper, the background pink and white polka dot paper, looking at me. And I turned to my left, which is where I had the scraps of paper that I was going to use for this mini kit, for March's mini kit. And I decided to put them together, and I didn't think it was going to go until I started incorporating other pieces to this layout. I didn't even know what photo I was going to use, and the only thing I did know is that I had that crepe paper sticker book and I wanted to use some of those pieces. And once I had decided on that, I went through my composition notebook, since I said if I'm using one sticker book, then I might as well use my composition notebook. I don't think of it all the time. It's not my go-to at all, but I want it to be. I want to incorporate a lot of the things that I spent hand cutting and incorporating into that composition notebook, because it has a lot of die cut elements and it's pretty fat. I mean, my book is at least 2 or 3 inches fat from the composition notebook that I made, and I'll do a lot of punches and fussy cut stuff, and so I knew that I wanted to look through it and incorporate things. And that's where you see the little girl with the flowers. That's from a Dear Lizzie collection, and so is the die cut, or the fussy cut. That was supposed to be like a cut apart page from one of her collections too. I also used a Kiss cut apart from a Project Life card. That's that pink heart that's next to the what do you call that thing? That clipboard. That's also a Project Life card. And so those were all pulled from my composition notebook. Oh, and that blue floral right next to it as well. So it was fairly easy to make because it was fun and floral and bright. And I wanted to feel inspired even though I was kind of pushing through a block. As soon as I felt happy about what I was going to use, because sometimes that's a hard thing for people to decide, don't you think? At least for me it is sometimes, or a lot of the times, where I find that people use the stuff that they like most, but I like everything in my space. I buy it because I really like it. I think at first, in my first few years when I started acquiring things to use to scrapbook, I think I did it more because of the price point. But now, and not that I don't like my older stuff either. I think there's very few things in my collection of scrapbook stuff that I really don't not enjoy. I don't know if that made sense, but am I do I hear anybody agreeing with me, or is anybody out there shaking their heads? Because that's how I feel most of the time. I cannot, and my computer's not showing me where the narration starts on my iMovie, and so I know it's coming up soon, and it's going to come up to live video, so forgive me if the volume goes up, or at least just be prepared and lower the volume when it comes to that point. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. I just move the stickers around. I do layer some with vellum, and others I just place directly onto the page. I have noticed that these stickers don't stick really well if you've already pulled them up, so I used glue afterwards. And one thing that you don't notice in the video that I do talk about in the live part of the video coming up is that I did do some extra stuff that you'll see in the details at the end of the video. So I think the live portion is coming up pretty soon. I actually see it coming, and I hope that you like this video. I did use that Fiskars mini bow punch, and I incorporated that black punch, but for the most part, this is what you see me doing is pretty self-explanatory. Here it comes. So I'm back with the finished product. At the end of the video, you see me trying to put I love you or I love you here, but I figured I went back and I felt like it needed something dimensional down here. So I went looking and I found this in a chipboard set that I got at Tuesday Morning not too long ago. I'm grabbing it. It's from Echo Park. It's the chipboard accents from Petticoats and Pinstripes, and I did get this banner, and since I put in a banner here, I figured this butterfly was looking kind of lonely and it was there was too much white going on right here. So I added this little green banner to add some color. It is very floral, it's very colorful, and I did use a mix of the little cardboard, or not cardboard, what do you call this? Like paper stickers and clear stickers as well. I did use some from this Journal Studio, and I also used this She's a Wildflower, and that one is from the Dear Lizzie book. I got it from one of the sticker books. So if you haven't, you might want to take a look at this. I backed it with some vellum paper because I still wanted that kind of transparent quality. I thought it was super cute to use. This is what I had in mind when I picked up these books. There's a ton of stickers for a very good price. I bought mine at Peachy Cheap. They came out, but I've just seen them at Tuesday Morning, and I think it's also $6.99, so it's a very good value. I think I ended up paying more for this one on Peachy Cheap, but if you have a Tuesday Morning, you might want to check them out and see if you can find them. I did also bring in this heart sticker here, and you can see that I did try and put a bird down here, but I didn't like the thought of the bird flying in under the little girl or the butterflies being higher than the bird. I just don't think that would happen in nature. I mean, he could be like sitting right here, but it was in a flight pattern. I think it was something like this. So I just put it back, and then also the size of them. I didn't like how it ended up looking, but I did add these two banners right at the end, and this like a raffia type of twine, I think. I was gonna add a little bit of yellow crochet twine also, but I couldn't tie it around this stuff. It's too thick. So this is my layout. I ended up coloring this little border punch edge right here in some white paint, and it does have a little bit of green showing through, and I don't mind that, but it was too bright of a green and it didn't really match the green in the hearts. But since there's still a little bit of hue coming through from that, even though it looks white on the camera more or less, if I put it up closer, you can see that there's a pattern on the paper. I gave myself permission to bring in this other color, and then when I started bringing in more color, then that's when I just let it all, I just, threw care to the wind and decided to bring in more color, and bringing in these flowers and the floral stems. I like the touch of the delicate doily, and I really like the look of the cloud, but they always give me such a hard time, and so I was really, happy, I guess, that I used a cloud punch and I used the little size. I just thought that gave it another touch of this bubble element here, and I brought it out to this side in a different shape, but I also used a punch for both. So I thought that was also a neat touch. That bubble type of look, or that circular type of look, is also repeated behind the photo in the doily and also in this tag shape. I got this tag from Caitlin Clary. She sent it to me when I won a stamp set, so I used one of those as well, and I'm really happy that I incorporated this blue floral. Once I put this blue, then I also, since they don't match, but they're in the same kind of color family, and all of these, I was able to bring out all of these blue butterflies, or the green ones too. Super happy. I'm very excited that I have different lines. I have them from different This is even an Amy Tangerine sticker back here, and it's all because of the fact that I have all of these collections. I still have them separated by like die cut packs and also by designer. So I have Dear Lizzie, and I have all her different lines are in one right after the other. All my cut aparts, I put them in here as well. And as I was leafing through, I noticed some stuff that would go. Yeah, that's the Dear Lizzie Stargazer line, so that's where that's from. So I did use the Dear Lizzie sticker book. But again, because of the fact that I was flipping through this die cut book to look for things. This is from Dear Lizzy. This is from Dear Lizzy. This is a Project Life card that I had cut the shape out of, and so is this kiss. Dear Lizzy. This is from Crate Paper. These are American Crafts Easter papers, and so it's all different lines. This is even the border strips that attach to the paper pad, and I punched them out and I made a whole bunch of bows out of those remnants, and those are always pretty hard for me to use. They don't cut out the exact shape. Like you can see, this one is pretty square and this one is more rounded, but that doesn't bother me. It still looks cute. It still looks like a bow, and I even folded them with different widths. So you get it. I don't know if you can see that in my camera. I bent this one with a toothpick, and then I bent this one with a rounder diameter little stick that I have around. This is the more rounded diameter, and so when I go to construct it, I just bend where I eyeball where half of this bow part is, and then I use that to crease my bow. And with this other one, I do the same thing but with a toothpick, and then that's where I fold it. So I found another use for those remnants of paper, and this is all scratch paper. This is from the Bloom 6x6 pad, I think, and some of the remnants from the 12x12 pad as well. So I have another use, and I just sat down. I'm not feeling very creative, and so I just sat down and did these. But as soon as this paper piece came on the layout, I think the rest of it came together fairly easy, and I was quite happy with that. Oh, and also the multiple lines. Like I said, this back here is Amy Tangerine. These are different lines from Dear Lizzy. This one and this one, this one, this one, this one. They're all separate lines, but they go really well together, and I'm really happy that I was able to include the crate paper with these darker colors. This was also a Project Life card, and it was just this little remnant, but in using this part, I was able to bring it in, I think. At least my train of thought was, because it has a floral pattern. I don't know if you can see that. I was able to bring it in because I was already using butterflies and this flower cut, or I think I used this first, and then I was able to bring in that motif of the more flowers and butterflies, because that reminds me of spring. And then this, I like this added touch of the notebook paper edge, and that's from Amy Tangerine, which I just, when I used this composition notebook, I flipped through it all, and I didn't exactly try to match everything because these yellows don't match, but they go really well. And it was in a line that I wouldn't have put two and two together, but it made sense, and I like the added touch of the yellow. I included it to this side, and then it even let me bring in this other yellow butterfly so I could bring different tones of the color. So even though they are not matchy, they still go together, and they still bring the color throughout the layout, and even including in her bow. So it's all throughout the page, and it goes really well. I was really excited about making this page. I like that I included the black bow. I wasn't too sure if it was gonna come out, but because I included this heart and the butterflies have black bodies, and the leaves are not exactly black, I don't think. They might be. Some are green, like a navy green or a teal green, but some of the bodies look more black. So I was able to include this bow, and a lot of the photograph is in black because of their dark hair. So I was super happy about how this came out. I was really excited about being able to salvage this piece and use it on another layout when I could have thrown the whole layout that this ended up being a fail on, but I salvaged it, and it looks great to me. And I was really excited and happy about the outcome of the layout, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's the end of my video. It's 11 minutes long. Now it's gonna be 15 minutes, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I know my layouts have been on my mini kit Mondays, have not all been on Mondays, but I'm just trying to push out all the videos that I have made for my mini kits, and I'm just putting them out when I can. I haven't been very inspired to come into my room and work on these things, but I do appreciate you hanging in there and you staying on my channel. Thank you so much. I'm over 600 subscribers. I know I have to do some giveaways, and those will be coming up quick. So stay tuned for my other videos to find out about those giveaways, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave any comments, hit the like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you in the next video. Bye!